Well, Rising Star is back with another interview, and today we are joined the self-proclaimed queen of jazz talk, Stacey Ryan. Hello, Stacey.
Hi.
I like to start off my interview with just silly little rapid fire questions.
Love
So,
that.
first things first, Montreal or Toronto?
Oh, Montreal, for sure.
Amazing. And the last song you listened to?
A song that I have been working on in the studio, actually.
Exciting. Exciting.
Ooh.
And what is your favorite day of the week?
Maybe like Wednesday or Thursday, like right in the middle.
Okay, how come?
Because I don't know. I think it's like the perfect opportunity to like go out if you want to, because it's like the middle of the week, but then you can also stay in and it's like you're not pressured to do like anything. You can kind of just, you know?
Yeah, no pressure. It's nice to have those days where you're like, I could just stay home or I could do anything. It is.
Exactly.
Good choice. So I would love
Thank
to
you.
know how you got started in the music industry. What made you decide to pursue a career? Especially what made you decide to drop out of university and pursue a career?
Right. I kind of always knew that music was going to be, or I was going to try my hardest so that music could be my full-time career. Like ever since I was a little kid, I was like, I want to be a pop star, like I want to be a singer. And obviously when I was saying that, I didn't know like everything that goes in behind it. But like as I grew up, and started going to school in music, um, it was still always like in the back of my mind. I'm like, this is what I'm going to school for. I'm going to school so that I can learn to eventually, hopefully, have a career. And getting on social media and like starting to post and like build a name for myself definitely like very much helped, because social media plays like a big part in a lot of people's careers these days. So yeah, it was kind of the start of the social media that definitely like kind of introduced me to the industry. And then obviously I got signed and started working with a bunch of people. So yeah.
Right. And so definitely last year would be considered your breakout year. So how was last year for you? Like what changed in your life? How did you change?
So much. I last year was the busiest year of my life, and I know this one will be even more busy, like it already has been more busy. But it was just like a complete change because the year before that, I was in school living with my parents, and then all of a sudden, I am moving to LA and I'm working with all these songwriters and I'm traveling to all places of the world that I've never been to before. So last year was like, it was one of those years where like so much happened. Like it feels like it was 5 years and not one because of all the stuff that went down, but also it literally went by in like the blink of an eye. Like I got signed around this time last year, which is so crazy because it feels like it was 10 years ago and also like yes, it's so weird.
Time's an illusion.
Time is not real.
It's not real. And how's living in LA?
I love it. Literally, everyone asks me, they're like, "Oh, really?" They're kind of always shocked when I say that. And I'm like, I just like, I'm sitting at my kitchen table right now looking at my nice view, which is just like the street. But I mean, there's a palm tree in there and the sky's blue, so we love that. I associate LA with like just like music and my job, but like not in a bad way. Like I love coming here and I love making music and working and performing and doing all that. So LA to me is just like such a good spot. Like I love being here. Every time I leave, I can't wait to come back because I just feel so like pulled to this place.
That's when you know you found your home.
I know I have.
Exciting. And so I saw you play a lot of instruments: piano, guitar, bass, ukulele, and the trumpet, I believe. All,
I played in high school. I don't play
okay.
anymore, but I once
Oh,
did.
well, I was going to ask which one is your favorite? What's your favorite instrument to play?
So I guess it depends because like piano I'm probably the most comfortable on because that's what I've been playing since I was like 9. And I took lessons for like many, many years. But guitar is cool because I kind of like taught myself using like the internet. And it's just fun to be able to like express myself almost as comfortably as I can on piano on another instrument. And it really is cool because if I'm writing a song, if I'm on the guitar, it may sound or come out sounding different than if I was starting to write it on the piano. Like it kind of can change the vibe of a song too. But I would say overall piano, like
Nice.
for a bunch of different categories, like comfort, versatility, it's probably piano that wins for me.
Cool. But it's nice to be versatile in different instruments also. Good for you.
Definitely.
Good for you. How would you
Yeah.
describe your sound? Like you personally, everyone can describe it differently, but how would you describe
I would describe my sound as in like elevated pop music, but not elevated in a sense like better than another kind of pop music, just like in the fact that there's so many different other genres of music also like hidden in there. Like I love to add jazz, the elements, so that's what I went to school for. So like you can hear a lot of jazz in my music when you listen to it, and also just like adding little like bossa nova and like soul and R&B. Like I'm trying to fit all these into what just would sound like a regular pop song to most people. So I would say either elevated pop music, but I usually say jazzy pop music.
it? Nice. And what draws you to jazz?
Honestly, I just think it's such an underappreciated genre, especially like nowadays, just because a lot of people don't know how vast and like amazing jazz can be and how many sub genres or whatever, like smaller ones,
Subgenre?
subgenres
Yeah.
of, I said it in French, I was like sub genre.
The Montreal stuff.
I think, yeah, exactly. It's my little Frenchie coming out. I just think that people not so much are like, oh, I don't like jazz, it sounds terrible. I just think they don't know how like a lot of jazz sounds because a lot of it is super modern sounding, like, and I just think it's also that I went to school and learned like all the history and theory behind it that just makes me appreciate it like that much more because I kind of know how it came to be and I know all like the amazing musicians that brought jazz, to like the where it is today and kind of like, like just all the greats. Like you got to think like Ella Fitzgerald and Miles Davis and like even before, like there's just it's so intricate but also just so beautiful and amazing and I think that's why I love it because you can use it to express like virtually anything.
Which is beautiful. Who would your dream collaboration be with? Dead or alive?
Ooh, okay. Two answers. Well, dead would be Al Jarreau, 1000%. Like that's the final answer. But alive, there's definitely a bunch of people that I would love to work with. Um, Yeba would be amazing. I think I would literally die probably. Um, like even like I would love to like get in the studio with like Pharrell or Justin Timberlake, like just like the greats that are still making great music and like
It's the
my
big
list of
category.
collabs are like is like this long. If I were to go through everyone, we would be here all day. So
I'll manifesting the whole list for you.
thank you.
And your music's been described as both uplifting and introspective. How do you manage to find a balance between those two elements when you're making your songs?
I think that you don't really think about that when you're writing it because you're in such like an emotional headspace most of the time when you're writing music because you're writing off of like stuff that you're feeling. A lot of the time it being like harder feelings to deal with sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that it's when people gravitate towards like the lyrics of a song or something because they relate to it. That's when that introspectiveness and that like feel good stuff really pops out because like it's not only us that hear that in the music, it's also everyone else.
Right.
So I feel like it's the mix of people
Interpreting.
interpreting. I was like, what's this word? Interpreting the song and also how we wrote it. But I think that's a great way. Oh, yes. Sorry, the trash is picking up my trash right now in front of my house,
It's a
and I'm
good day.
excited.
It's a good
It's
day.
a good day. Empty garbage. So if you hear that, sorry, because it's really
That's
loud.
a good day. LA. At least we know the trash is getting picked up near you.
You're right.
How would you describe your creative process from like A to Z when you're planning a song? Your
So it is. been really like it's changed because when I would write music alone, I would usually just like be feeling some type of way, and then I would like grab my guitar or something and like figure out a progression, and then just like kind of just write from the beginning to the end.
Mhm.
Um, but when I started going into like writing sessions and working with like producers and songwriters, um, the process was around like mostly the same. Like we would figure out a chord progression, so like the music, and then we would write the lyrics after that. But usually we'd start maybe with the chorus and then work backwards, or like it kind of depends on the people in the session. But that's usually pretty much how it goes.
Nice, nice. And so I've seen on your social media, you're very active with your fans, which is awesome. Why do you think it's important to be close and like relate to your audience on that level or speak to your
I
audience?
I think it's just like a thing of saying like I see you, like you're here and you've been here, and just like acknowledge that these people have like been a core member of a fan base before even anything happened or after. Like it kind of there's so many different people that have come along like this journey, like people from the start or new people, and you just got to know you're like, hey, like I really appreciate your support, and just because without all the people, like where would we be,
Where would you be? Exactly.
you know?
Yeah. And
So
speaking of
you just got to
audience,
show them that you,
oh
yeah,
no,
go ahead.
no, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just going to reiterate the exact same thing I said in different words, so
Perfect.
we're good.
You talk very similar to how I talk. I'm just like, so I said this, now I'm gonna say it in the exact same way in different words.
And now I'm gonna stop. Yeah, exactly. Because I can't, like, I'm just like, meh.
I get it. But yeah, so speaking of audience, what could fans expect at one of your concerts? If they are in the audience, what are they going to see?
Ooh, that's a great question. Um, well, it depends. If I'm playing solo, it's very intimate. It's, just usually me and a guitar or me and a keyboard. So that's definitely like a more like, I wouldn't say relaxed, but just more like improvised, I would say, because if ever I wanted to like make the song longer or do an extra like riff section, like I could do that because I'm by myself. I could just be like, oh, I'm just gonna change the song a little bit. But I recently have played a couple shows with a band, and that's a little more like, it's a little more planned out, because we have like all the songs in a specific order and like all the arrangements very specific. But that show is like super high energy, and still really cool and has that like jazzy improvised feeling with like solos, and stuff like that. So they can expect a bunch of different things, but at the core of it all, cool music.
Nice. I think the one word takeaway I would definitely give from learning about you is versatile. It's a good one.
Thank you.
So my last question is finally, what is next for Stacey Ryan?
So much. I am about to go. I'm leaving, literally, what day is it? Tuesday. I'm leaving to go on tour on Thursday, and I'm opening for Jake Wesley Rogers on his US tour, which is going to be literally amazing. We're going on a bus, so that's
Very
exciting. I've
old
never
school, very
I've
hippie.
never done that before, so exciting.
That's fun.
And then I'm going on tour in Europe with Joshua Bassett at the end of April. And I do have an EP coming out. We can't say the date yet, but it's coming. It's been in the works for a long time. And, just like more traveling, more music, all of it.
Amazing. Well, I'm excited to see all of this come to fruition. So, on behalf of the Rising Star team, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. And I look forward
Of
to
course. Thank you for
watching you
having me.
guys